Hi everyone and welcome to Club 3 episode 29 of Rolling in the Isles, an FM20 British Isles Journeyman series with me, the United City FM. Welcome along. So it's not been too bad since you and I were together last. The last time you and I were together for an episode we played Crystal Palace. Unfortunately we got beaten 1-0 after Vera got sent off early in the first half, and it just really put us under pressure for most of the rest of that game, unfortunately. But we did okay after that point. We got through in the FA Cup 5th round against Reading 3-2. Bit of a big scoring game, but we just about made it through. Unfortunately, you can see the last match we've played was against Everton, and eventually our cup run came to an end in the quarter-final. I think we did really well to get to the quarter-final, to be honest. I was very happy with the cup run. Couldn't quite make it past Everton. It was a little bit of a disappointing display, and they went through 1-0, and, you know, they're ended our cup run for the particular season. So next up in the league was Burnley. We got a 0-0 draw, which was disappointing. Nobody really showed up and dominated the game as much as I'd like, but it was away from home, and what you learn in the Premier League is if you can win your home games and get anything from your away games, you're not doing too badly. And so a draw away from home, I'll take it. And then a really good win against Newcastle. The star of our show was Loku Doku and Ida with the goals, and you can see that Noel and Martinez and Joku and several of our defenders were all over 7 as an average rating on that particular occasion, and that hasn't happened too often this season, so I thought it was a really decent performance. As I say, then comes the Everton game. Unfortunately we lost that, and that brings us to Wolves, who are currently sitting in 8th place. If we go to the competition page, you can see that we're sitting in 12th on 34 points. Really happy with that. We are currently, 6 points clear of the relegation zone. We've got a game in hand over several of the teams around us. If we could win today, that really, really helps us completely get clear of that relegation zone. If we don't, if we lose to Wolves or we get a draw, I think we've still got to be aware that in the next couple of games we've got some challenges to overcome just to make sure that we stay in the division. If we look at the schedule again, you can see, considering that we're still trying to just pull clear a bit, we've now still got to play Liverpool, Man City and Tottenham, plus several other hard teams in there as well. So by any stretch, this is not a foregone conclusion, but at this precise moment where we sit in the league, I'm absolutely ecstatic by. If you'd have given this to me at the beginning of the season, I would have ripped your hand off for it. It was absolutely brilliant. You can see that we remain good in terms of the finances of the club, which is fabulous to see. So that's all working out quite well. In terms of the team itself at the moment, everybody's had a bit of game time recently. Sibley's just coming back from a knock, and Silas is out for a little while. He's got 6 more days. I think he's been out for the last couple of weeks, so he's missed a couple of games recently that he could have played in. But other than those two, everybody else is fit. So the team for today is Bazunu in goal, Matheson at right back, Target at left back, Story and Harwood Bellis in central defence, with Joku, Vera and Martinez in central midfield, with Noel on the right, Loku Doku on the left and Ida up top, with a bench of Burns, Cooper, May, Crowley, Scott, Murray and Audran. Just before we get into the game, I suggested at one point this week that I might do a Q&A session today. I'm going to actually put that into Sunday evening's video in the FM20 Deja Vu series. It's a longer format with a longer game to watch, so I'll answer a couple of questions there. I didn't get too many this time round, but that's absolutely fine. But I'll put a few questions in that episode, so if you're waiting for a Q&A, then it will be on Sunday evening. Hope that's okay. But for now, let's get into today's game and see what happens. So we challenged them to do this for fans and go out and make a difference. I did toy with the thought of playing our defensive structure against Wolves today, but we're at home and we've had a couple of reasonable results recently, so I just felt the need to try and keep momentum moving. But I did toy with it. I hope it doesn't come back to bite me on the bum too much. And hopefully we can actually compete well against a decent mid-table side like Wolves and see if we can pick up at least a point. But 3 points at home would be amazing. Cross comes in early for Ida from that wide right-hand side from Knoll, and a decent near-post header from Ida. A good chance, but the header was slightly wayward, wasn't it, unfortunately? Went over the top of the bar, but a good positive sign in the early stages of the game. And then since then, what's happened? Loku Doku's picked up a knock. We'll probably get him through till half-time and then evaluate that then and see how his conditioning is. But it's gone very, very deathly quiet since, hasn't it? You can see that we are dominating the game in terms of the match statistics, but we haven't found those key highlights other than that first one for Ida, who put the header over the top of the bar. Not too many shots on goal, but a reasonably strong amount of possession. We're playing a controlled possession style of play now in this asymmetric style, so that's obviously working, but we're not finding the quality to get those chances. I am going to take Loku Doku off. We don't need to be putting anybody under pressure in terms of their fitness, etc. at this point in the season, so he can come off. And then we're going to go into the team talk and assertively say it's time for everyone to dig in and give everything you've got, and just see if we can find a way to dig out a result here at home against, yes, a very good opposition, but the first half suggests that we are in control of this match, and hopefully we don't get sucker punched at any point during this second half. And this, again, the second half is drifting quite quickly away from us, and nothing much is happening. You can see that we've got some nerves from Knoll. Let's go into the substitutions and take out Knoll and put in Scott, who hasn't put the world set the world on fire yet since moving to the club. He's played a few games here and there, hasn't quite found his form just yet. And then we've got Ida up top, who's looking a bit out of sorts today. And then one last thing that we're going to do is we're going to go we're going to keep that going and press play, and then we're going to go into the tactics and we're going to change to our Gegenpress and just see if we can up that tempo for the last 20 minutes of the game, confirm the changes, and when that's confirmed, we're also going to go in there and demand that they push forward. So those are the things we're going to do for the last 20 minutes and see if we can find a way through this stubborn Wolves side. And we do get a chance to build up an attack. We've gone all the way back to our fullbacks who were in our defensive area defending from our own corner kick. Just to give cover for any break that Wolves happen to make. And so we get a chance to build up from the back now and in our controlled possession. That should come nicely through the centre of midfield, out wide right to Scott now. Gets past one defender into the box. Can he have a shot? Oh, narrowly wide. Decent opportunity on his left foot, which he does do. He cuts in off that wing onto his left foot. And then just the quality on the shot wasn't there. And that's been our problem all day. But if we can hold on to a 0-0 draw against a Wolves side in 8th position, that is not a bad result. It's just a little bit unfortunate that when you see how much we dominated possession, that we couldn't quite find a way to properly make it count. And another game goes by, another point gained. Don't be too harsh on them. I'll go with that. That makes sense. We did pretty well. I'm not unhappy with a point against someone like Wolves. And you can see what it's done is just taken us a point further away. So we're now 7 points clear of the relegation zone, which I think is getting to the point where we can be reasonably happy about that. Until you then again realise that we've still got quite a few of the big guys still to play. What's Loku Doku done? He's got an injury, that a pulled thigh, out for 6 to 10 days. That's not too bad, is it? He'll miss a game probably, but then he'll probably be back for one of the bigger games that we have to play. So if we go back into the schedule and we just check out what's coming up. So we just played Wolves. We've got Tottenham, Southampton, Brighton, Sheffield United, Man City, Liverpool, Norwich. I'm going to play 2 games out of this, and I'm going to go in for the Brighton match. If we go and have a look at the league, you can see that Brighton are sitting in the relegation zone. So it's one of the teams that if we could beat, it pushes us further away. And then on the final day of the season, we've also got Norwich. And if we go and have a look at the competition page for Norwich, you can see that they are actually further up than you would give them credit for. They're all the way up in 7th. So they're having a fantastic season at this point. And so that's going to be slightly tricky when we also have to play a couple of the bigger guys as well between now and the end of the season. So this is not done. This is not us safe just yet. but I think we're getting there, and I'm really delighted to have it in our hands at this point and not have to rely on other people at this moment in time. Hopefully that continues. So thanks for joining me for today. I think it was a decent enough performance. We showed that we can compete with the mid-table teams in the Premier League, which is really encouraging. We've also seen that given the right formation and tactic, we can compete with some of the bigger guys as well. So we've definitely got something to build on here at Derby County, and I'm really enjoying having a go with them. So thanks for joining me today. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Click that like button if you haven't. It helps me get seen by lots and lots of other people. Share the video out amongst all your Football Manager watching friends that you know about. See if we can get some more people's eyes on the product. But yeah, until next time, take care of yourselves. I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.